Hey guys, coming at you with another video on the 91 Wrangler project. I got some things done on it, and it is running as best. It's running the best that it's ever ran, and I am very happy with it right now. So, guess let's go to the engine bay, and I'll show you what we got. You can see I got my Batwing air cleaner back on. I don't remember if I ever showed that in a video, but my brother got that for me as a Christmas present. It's a reproduction. Summit Racing sells them. They make them in stainless, which is what this one is, or like a flat black. But main reason it's running so good, I got rid of the Holly. I put a Edelbrock 1906, or I think it's a 1905 on there. It's a 650 CFM manual choke with mechanical secondaries, and the big selling point to me was it's got annular boosters in it, so it atomizes the fuel way better than the regular boosters that are in most other carburetors and that were in my Holly. And you may be wondering, why would you get rid of the Holly? Hollies are so much better, blah blah blah. Well, simple reason for that is that 650 double pumper has been put on a bunch of different cars. It's been messed with, and I was having an issue with it where I wasn't driving the car for a while because the garage door broke and I had no way to get it out of the garage, but we managed to get it out. And originally I was trying to fix an issue where it was always running rich, and it turned out the accelerator pump linkage wasn't adjusted properly. So while it was in the garage, I had adjusted it, and when I got it out of the garage, it started up fine, but it would get a kind of a, not a dead spot, but a little stumble when you would really get on it. And over time, I didn't really even change anything other than the accelerator linkage on that Holly, but over the next few drives, the stumble got to the point where it would be, popping while you're driving it, like cruising, third gear, 1500 RPM, not even into the secondaries or the accelerator pump shot. It would be popping and, like really just running poorly. And I don't have an AFR gauge on this car, but I thought, maybe it was running rich because, I could smell it out of the exhaust. It kind of smelled rich. So I fiddled around putting different shooters in there, and putting smaller shooters made it worse. Putting bigger shooters made it worse. So I put the original shooters back in and made sure they were matched for the primaries and secondaries. And then I tried the jets. That didn't help. I tried rejetting it. Didn't going either way on the jets made the stumble worse. I tried doing the idle mixture. Didn't help. I tried putting the accelerator pump back to how it was, which was it had no clearance in between it. It's supposed to have 15 thou of clearance in between that bolt with the spring on it and the actual pump arm. That did nothing. So I think the carburetor just kind of crapped the bed a little bit, but I was just so sick and tired of tuning on it, because I probably spent 2 hours the one night, going through putting a jet in, upsizing the jets, taking it for a drive, running it out of gas in the bowls, doing the jets again, rinse and repeat for 2-3 hours. And I just got so sick of working on it that I just said, screw it, I'm buying a Edelbrock. And this AVS2, I literally just adjusted the idle mixture screws for a baseline, put it in, and it fired right up. It still had a bit of a stumble to it, and I had to mess with the timing a little bit, but the stumble that this carburetor had, well, the stumble that the engine had with this carburetor on it, and the other stumble with the Holley, it was a lot worse with the Holley. So it was definitely, at least partially, the Holley's fault. The distributor was a little too advanced, so I backed it off a little bit, and now it runs perfect. Starts right up. With this weather, I don't even have to use the choke, but I do have a choke cable, as you can see, running through the clutch hole. The other thing to note is this alternator is going bye-bye. I'm trying to see. There's a little bit of soot on there, but I don't know if that's from the belt or what. But yeah, this alternator's on its way out. This is just a cheapo eBay Chinesium chrome alternator that I bought when I first put the engine and everything in it. I had an issue with it a couple weeks ago. I was driving through town and I noticed the volt gauge was getting closer to 12 and then below 12, and it started running really poorly, obviously, and it wasn't exciting if I revved it or anything. And the alternator makes this real chirpy bearing noise, and I got it home, parked it. Next day I went out, started it up, and the alternator excited and maintained 14 volts. And I haven't had that issue since, but it still makes that bearing noise. I think something internally is messed up in it, and I'm also not really happy with these Summit Racing alternator brackets, just like the cheapo stamped steel kind. I've already had this alternator bracket. You can kind of see it. A piece broke off and I had to re-weld it because it had a crack going down about that far. And just the way these are, this alternator shakes really bad. And my brother said, well, it's because you don't have a support on the back. And that might be it, but these alternator brackets didn't come with anything for the back of the alternator. These are really meant for heads that don't have the bolt holes in them, and this alternator just shakes really badly when the engine's running. So I'm not impressed at all with these alternator brackets. So next paycheck I get, I'm gonna order a name brand PowerMaster alternator and a set of a different style alternator bracket that goes through, bolts to the head, and then has the little turnbuckle to tighten it instead of having to slide it and everything. I think that's going to help a lot. The other little issue that I had was I noticed the brake fluid sensor on the proportioning valve was leaking. It would be here. I never had it plugged in. I don't have any lights on the dash. I don't have the brake light on. I think I took that bulb out. But the sensor was full of brake fluid up to the top of the inside of the plug, and the whole proportioning valve was wet. It got down the inside of my fender, on my frame, can see it got my steering shaft a little bit. So I just took the sensor out, got a bolt and a nut, put thread tape on the bolt and tightened the bolt in as deep as the sensor was, and just jammed it down with the lock nut, and no leaks so far. But yeah, other than that, I think the only other issue that I've had, one issue that I've had is when I fill the tank all the way up, I'll get home and then it'll be leaking gas out of the vent tube hoses that I have going up in this quarter panel. So I just gotta keep mind of that. I just won't fill the gas tank all the way up, because it'll just puke out gas. Not a ton, but you know, it'll probably leave a foot across puddle on the ground, and I'll pop the gas cap loose and it'll hiss out like it's building pressure, which doesn't really make sense to me if the gas tank's supposed to be vented. But yeah, the other issue that I had that I noticed was I popped the drums off to adjust the brake shoes a little bit, and I think it was this side has a axle seal leak. It's not huge, but I can see the outside of the seal is a little wet, and there's a little trail going down the backing plate, but it's not dripping out onto the ground, or it's not wet on the back of the axle plate or anything. You can't even see it from the outside, but that's just something I'm gonna have to do eventually. But yeah, I don't have the half doors on because it's been super rainy these past couple weeks, and I don't have uppers for those half doors, so I just put my full doors on to keep at least most of the water out. It does still leak water. There's probably a half a dozen reasons why. Number one probably being I don't have these windshield bolts on either side. I just never got around to putting them in. But yeah, that's pretty much it on this video. Just figured I'd make a nice little update for you guys. Haven't posted in a while, but it's been a little slow. Not really, other than the carburetor, not really a whole lot going on really any of my cars. I did put new front speakers in that Cherokee that I have, but yeah, otherwise not really anything major. Pretty slow July so far, so yeah, that's gonna be it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll probably make a update video on the Cherokee at some point this week, so see you then.